Sussexes stay true to past feeble form and don't come up with decent ideas, the reduction in the immense income to which they become accustomed. Bee suit now. I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it. You know, like my husband. It's so funny that people keep calling me Meghan Markle because it's Meghan Sussex now. It's Meghan in Sussex. Meghan!
As of this week, the story took a shocking turn when King Charles quietly agreed to a request from the House of Lords to remove Meghan Markle's last royal titles and rights. For a royal family built on silence and duty, this step is not just rare, it is huge. It shows what many top officials and royal experts have been saying for months. The British leadership is done playing around with the Duchess of Sussex. What started in 2020 as an open-ended deal to leave a soft goodbye from royal life has turned into a massive cultural fight. Meghan and Harry said they wanted peace and freedom. But what the UK got instead was a non-stop PR show. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Mansion and planet-destroying private jet travel to pay for. The King and Queen of California's luxury lifestyle is staggeringly expensive.
The move directly attacked the very system Meghan and Harry once supported. Now, the UK Parliament, through its upper chamber, has taken its boldest public step so far. A signed petition, supported by active members of the House of Lords, is now officially recognized, and King Charles has given his quiet approval without objection. In royal language, that means let it pass. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle is said to be furious behind closed doors in California, shocked that her carefully built image could collapse in weeks instead of years. The House of Lords is not a group that gets involved in online gossip or celebrity drama. It is a serious legislative body that usually handles issues like defense.
For years and no longer trusts the petulant prince who turned on him so much for the Sussexes' family Christmas. Also part of the Duke.
The House of Lords usually deals with trade, foreign policy, and major constitutional issues. For them to take a stand, and for the king to not oppose it, means only one thing: Meghan Markle is now seen as a national issue, not just a royal scandal. This is not about angry tabloids or Twitter arguments. It has now become a government-recognized problem with serious institutional consequences. When the Lords act and the king stays silent, the message is clear: Meghan has crossed a line. For many people, this step feels long overdue. The idea that Meghan could leave royal duty, move to America.
This here is the promotional video for the second series of With Love, Meghan, You Have Been Warned.
So comforting.
Very comforting.
Often what I want to make or things I want to share. This looks fantastic.
And still use her royal title to make millions from business deals was always seen as ethically wrong. But the palace chose a slow and careful approach. They gave Meghan and Harry the freedom they asked for, yet instead of living a quiet life of service, they created a global brand that sold emotional pain, personal complaints, and royal gossip on streaming services. From the Netflix series to the Oprah interview, every step showed the same contradiction. They rejected the crown while still using its fame. That contradiction has now become too much for those who protect the monarchy's image. One of the harshest criticisms didn't come from a royal aide or an unnamed insider, but from the numbers themselves.
That actually is giving me goosebumps. That is so lovely.
Do you know who doesn't like lobster?
Who?
My husband.
And you'll marry him? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't like lobster either, as I said in my monologue.
In recent months, polls have shown that a huge majority of British citizens, over 80%, support removing Meghan's royal titles. That kind of agreement is almost never seen in the UK, especially on royal issues, whether someone is a monarchist or a Republican, left-wing, or right. The one thing most people agree on is this: Meghan Markle does not reflect the values or dignity of the monarchy. And when the public is united, Parliament pays attention. What makes this step even more striking is its boldness in terms of the Constitution. Taking away royal titles is not a small matter. It raises questions about sovereignty, tradition, and legal precedent. The last time pressure rose this high?
A trailer. Welcome to my beautiful home. What do you mean it's not my fucking home? Every morning I pick beautiful flowers from my beautiful garden and I feed them to my beautiful children. So what if you haven't got a fucking garden? I haven't really got any children.
It involved disgraced royals caught up in criminal scandals. Meghan's case is not criminal, but it is ideological. It is about weakening the institution while at the same time making money from it. To the British establishment, this is seen as the greatest betrayal, not by breaking laws, but by breaking the royal brand. Meghan did not commit treason in the legal sense. She committed it in the court of royal ethics. Within royal circles, King Charles's choice to let the petition move forward has been quietly welcomed. He did not ask for it openly. He did not need to. His silence sent the message. Palace insiders say Charles is no longer willing to protect Meghan from the political consequences. Some even say this is King Charles's way of protecting the monarchy for the future, especially for Prince William and Catherine, who now hold the heavy task of rebuilding public trust. Meghan and Harry, once praised as the future of a modern monarchy, are now seen as an expensive mistake. Timing also plays a role. This petition is not happening randomly. It comes just as Meghan launches season 2 of her Netflix cooking show, once again using the Duchess of Sussex title boldly on screen. Lawmakers in Parliament who backed the petition said this was the tipping point. One member admitted this quietly to a reporter.
Yeah, well, Samara, after that trailer, I'm now going out with myself because I'm very
you're very
attracted.
dishy.
I love
very
myself.
gorgeous.
Well, I always have loved myself, but now I'm sexually attracted to myself. So we make a great couple. But seriously,
You cannot leave the royal family and then turn around and use your royal title as a brand name. Too many, that is a national insult, not just a clever marketing trick. And since King Charles has stayed silent, that silence now gives a statement. Real official weight. The pushback is not only symbolic. Behind the scenes, there are now discussions about changing the rules for how former royals can use their titles abroad. Meghan and Harry may still technically hold their HRH titles, even if they don't use them in daily life. But now there is growing political will to set clear limits on how those titles can be used in business. This could affect everything from their Netflix credits to advertising material, and even how their names appear on US legal papers and company filings.
let's actually, before we get to that, let's talk about the Meg spin. You know, depressingly, so many newspapers fell for it, hook, line and sinker. She obviously put this statement out, oh yeah, we've extended our deal, it's fantastic, it's fantastic.
The goal is simple. Stop turning the monarchy into a money-making tool. Yet Meghan, always defiant, is reportedly preparing a counterattack. Sources close to her legal team say there are early talks about challenging the Lords' petition by claiming bias and defamation. But many experts believe this is a dead end. This isn't a gossip magazine printing rumors. This is the House of Lords acting within its constitutional power and supported by legal precedent. No amount of PR spin can block a parliamentary process once it has royal approval. And it seems Meghan has misjudged just how little influence she truly has in the UK.
For example, in the New York Times and the Hollywood Reporter, they told the real story. Downgraded deal. That was Hollywood Reporter. They said Netflix downgrades its deal with Harry and Meghan. The New York Times says Netflix loosens its ties with Harry and Meghan.
Prince Harry, as expected, has stayed quiet in public but is upset in private. Sources close to the palace say he feels shaken and angry, believing the petition is a betrayal by his own father. But from the monarchy's point of view, the real betrayal happened years ago when Harry and Meghan walked away and then turned their exit into fuel for a media empire. The monarchy may be slow to act, but when it does, it acts with long-term purpose. In the coming weeks, the House of Lords is set to fully debate the motion. If it passes, it could lead to a formal recommendation to the Privy Council, where King Charles could issue an official order in council.
What this is, I mean, you know, it's almost like you or me. You know, if we've got an idea, go to Netflix, and if they like it, they'll make it. So that, as I said in my monologue, there may be a small retainer involved, but essentially what this adds up to is Harry and Meghan have just lost 20 million.
Effectively finalizing the removal of Meghan's title, it is a legal process with real power, moving faster than many expected. And yet, through all of this, Meghan continues to present herself as a misunderstood icon, victimized, mistreated, and misjudged. But as political and public momentum turns against her, that story is losing strength. What remains is a growing agreement across institutions, the media, and the public, that Meghan Markle's role as Duchess is no longer possible, desirable, or welcome. As Britain prepares for the full House of Lords debate, a new set of voices has emerged from within the halls of tradition. Voices not of politicians or palisades.
A massive scam artist. First of all, that season was filmed alongside season 1, so that was already in the can beforehand. It's not like she's come out and said, oh, actually, we've been filming this the whole time you've said that my contract's cancelled. Not true. And second of all, the sway.
But of respected royal historians and longtime members of the peerage, who now argue that Meghan Markle represents a constitutional problem never seen in modern royal history. It is no longer about one woman's personal story. It is about the clear misuse of royal titles in the business world and the dangerous example it sets for the crown's future if nothing is done. Among those backing the petition are Lord Ashbourne, Viscount Ridley, and Dame Mildred Arkwright, each lending academic weight and generational perspective to the campaign. Their argument is simple. Meghan's place in the House of Sussex may still exist legally, but it is morally empty.
All people who have Netflix shows already on the platform and have actually invited themselves then onto the show. So it's a very artificially curated second season. She's got Jay Shetty, who's a disgraced guru. She's got Tan France, who's on Queer Eye. And she's got a...
In a recent speech, Viscount Ridley said, if the crown's legacy is reduced to a marketing logo for California-based content, then we have lost centuries of symbolism to Silicon Valley. His words were met with quiet agreement and a growing sense that the issue had long gone past the stage of polite avoidance. What fuels the matter even more is the clear clash of values between the Sussexes and the very institution that gave them their position. Meghan and Harry's life after leaving royal duty has been filled with polished documentaries, carefully staged public appearances, and high-profile complaints about palace life. All of this directly opposes the monarchy's values of discretion, service, and loyalty to the House of Lords.
A great show.
Queer Eye!
There's no issue with him being on Queer Eye, but it's a Netflix show, so it must have been within his contract to appear on there.
Yeah.
So yet again, we're not seeing any of her authentic relationships. There's no Oprah, there's no Gayle King, there's no Tyler Perry cropping up. So the whole thing is actually...
And to those who protect the monarchy's integrity, this is no longer seen as a personal fight. It is a break of constitutional trust. And in that break, they see real danger. But what has been happening behind closed doors may be even more damaging. Reports now say that Meghan's team, desperate to stop the petition from gaining ground, has started directly pressuring certain lords and MPs using both emotional pleas and legal threats. Her representatives are said to be claiming that the petition is part of a planned smear campaign against her. One lord, speaking without giving his name, described this move as desperate and politically immature.
falling for it. I'm glad you aren't too, Kev.
And who's that supermodel on it?
The fact that you can't name it and that I can't remember.
Tegan.
Oh, Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah, she's the one who had big trouble because she bullied a teenager online.
To death. Yes.
Yeah.
He added, if the Duchess thinks that misusing a royal title is protected by freedom of business, then she has misunderstood what nobility really means. These moves have only made her critics stronger. By trying to paint the petition as racially or personally motivated, Meghan has, in their eyes, once again failed to understand the situation. British constitutional issues, especially those tied to nobility and the royal family, are not shaped by celebrity anger or California-style PR strategies. They are guided by long-standing traditions and political agreement, both of which are now strongly against her.